Let me ask you some questions about what we did so far. Yesterday I said, show me where Allah tells our Prophet to follow the religion of Ibrahim alayhi salam. I'll go with the girls this time. Let's see. Yes.
Surah Al-Imran, verse 95.
What does he say? I'm not.
The meaning?
I'll find it. She said, Surah Al-Imran, ayah number 95. I am not Dr. Zakir Naik. Oh, قُلْ صَدَقَ اللَّهُ فَاتَّبِعُوا مِلَّةَ إِبْرَاهِيمَ حَنِيفًا وَمَا كَانَ مِنَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ. Yeah, no, that's not it. Because that one says all of you should follow the religion of Ibrahim. What did I ask for? The Prophet ﷺ is being told to follow the religion of Ibrahim. Boy's turn. Okay.
Surah An-Naml, verse 123.
Wait, Namal or Nahl? Which one?
16.
Okay, that's Nahl. And you said ayah number 23?
123.
Ooh, easy, tiger. $175?
23.
Okay, easy, okay. ثم أوحينا إليك أن اتبع ملة إبراهيم حنيفا وما كان من المشركين. Very good, that is correct. That's correct. Boys got that one. How many pillars in Islam? Each one of them goes back to Ibrahim alayhi salam. Ladies, how does the first one go back to Ibrahim alayhi salam?
There are many examples of this, but a few of them that I like are in Surah Baqarah, ayat number 135. Surah Baqarah 140.
No, but wait, easy.
And
Slow down.
No.
No, the example of the first pillar,
Shahada.
Shahada, you're saying 135?
140 and Surah Anam 79.
Okay, well, not the Baqarah ones. Give me. Not quite. Guys?
I said Surah
An'am 79? Okay, let me give you a chance. I like it. I'll take that. I'll give that to the girls. Okay, yes. إِنِّي وَجَهْتُ وَجْهِيَ لِلَّذِي فَطَرَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. Okay. Salah, going to Ibrahim. The prayer and Ibrahim alayhi salam. How do we know prayer, we pray, is connected to Ibrahim alayhi salam? You raise it any higher, you're going to dislocate your shoulder. Boys? Yes, young man?
So yesterday you said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told Ibrahim alayhi salam to pray near the Kaaba to purify the place, make sujood and I would say ruku.
Right. Okay, that's a good
Jazakallah
one.
khair.
That ruku and sujood were mentioned in connection with Ibrahim alayhi salam. There's something more. So that's from Baqarah. I'll give you a hint, it's a dua. Girl side going once, you already went, you can't go twice. Girl side going once, going twice, okay, go.
It's a dua that goes, Rabbi ja'alni muqim as-salati wa min dhurriyyati.
Very nice. Rabbi ja'alni muqim as-salati wa min dhurriyyati is a dua of Ibrahim alayhi salam. Ya Allah, make me someone who establishes the prayer and among my children. So here we are trying to establish the prayer. We're fulfilling the dua of Ibrahim alayhi salam. So that's shahada and salah. What's next? Zakah. That's a hard one. How is zakat connected to Ibrahim alayhi salam? It's boy's turn, right? The girl's score is 2 and the boy's score is 1? I'm afraid to give it to you.
Zakat is... He's connected because of a charity? I know, please.
I'm not asking you to guess. Okay, zakat to the Prophet Ibrahim alayhi.
So basically, he would always donate to those who need it.
I mean, he would, but that's not why. That's not why. This one's not easy. You do know?
Yeah, I know too.
You know too? Does he know too? Okay, I'm gonna give him a chance. Here, remember my wisdom.
So
They're a team.
190, 129, Surah Baqarah.
No. No. That's not it. I'll leave zakat one. I'll leave that for the end. I'll let you figure that one out. Let's go to the easier one. Fasting. Why is fasting connected to Ibrahim alayhi salam? I'll help you with this one. Why do we fast? When do we fast? Okay, why do we fast in Ramadan especially? What makes it special? What makes Ramadan special? Albert? Tell me. It was the month that the Qur'an was revealed. Everybody knows that? Okay. What was the dua of Ibrahim alayhi salam after he finished making the Kaaba? Send them a messenger. Remember that one? What should that messenger do? Who will teach them your book? A messenger who will teach the book. Which book is he talking about? Okay, when did the Qur'an come? In Ramadan. We fast in Ramadan because the Qur'an came, and the Qur'an came because who asked for it? Ibrahim alayhi salam. So we're fasting in Ramadan because we're celebrating that the dua of Ibrahim alayhi salam was answered. You see the connection? So we got the shahada, we got salah, we didn't quite get zakah, we got fasting. I mean, the last one's too easy. Hajj. I mean, we don't even know what Hajj is without who? Ibrahim alayhi salam. Because the Kaaba. He built the Kaaba, so that's easy. Okay, no more hands, no more hands. Just hands down, relax, give them a break. So which one's left? Zakat is not so direct, but it's there. Who was the son of Ibrahim alayhi salam who was building the Kaaba with him? Ismail. Allah said about Ismail alayhi salam in the Qur'an, كَانَ يَأْمُرُ أَهْلَهُ بِالصَّلَاةِ وَالزَّكَاةِ. Ismail alayhi salam used to tell his family to pray and give zakat. So through Ismail alayhi salam, which is directly connected to Ibrahim alayhi salam, even zakat goes back to that family, the family of Ibrahim alayhi salam. So all 5 pillars of Islam are connected directly to Ibrahim alayhi salam. I asked you a hard question before I gave you a break so you can eat food and forget about everything. Who can remind me of my question? I don't need the answer, I need the question.
Your question was?
No. Don't follow it. Give it a distance. Yes, good, right there.
Your question was, why didn't Prophet Muhammad destroy the idols even though Prophet Ibrahim did?
You got an answer for me? What's your name?
Zanera.
Okay, Zanera.
The reason why he didn't destroy it is because it's okay. So basically, he because he want to it's kind of hard to explain.
It's so cute. That was deep. Because because, yeah, I do know.
So Ibrahim alayhi salam, he broke the idols when he thought that everyone could see, but the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was waiting for a chance that everyone could see, so that's why he destroyed the idols in the Mecca invasion. And he destroyed it at that time because everybody was watching. I know another one.
Not quite, but I like that you're thinking about that. I like that. No. Don't do what he did. That is the opposite of patience. Okay, all the kids here, listen to something. By the way, girls are very well behaved, mashallah. Not surprising. But let me tell you boys something. What's the purpose of raising your hand? To get chosen. What's the purpose of calling out? Me. What's the purpose of saying me? Okay, so the fact that you're raising your hand means you're asking to be chosen, which means you don't need to add anything more. So when you raise your hand and say me, there's no point in raising your hand anymore. You get it? Okay, let me choose, and also I want you boys to know something, and all of you kids should listen to this carefully. When you get chosen, sometimes some kids, when they get chosen, they feel like they're special. And then other kids who didn't get chosen feel like, oh, I didn't get picked. I never get chosen. Or, I wish I was brave like that. I never raise my hand because it's embarrassing. Because if I answer wrong, everybody's going to laugh at me. Or if I don't know the answer, everybody's going to be looking at me. And other kids are like, I don't care if I'm wrong. I just want to be chosen. I am the chosen one. People just don't know it yet. Right? The thing is, you're not going to learn ever. Not now, not when you're older. You're never going to learn if you sit somewhere because you want to feel special. Or you want to not be embarrassed. You want to go somewhere to learn, and you give value. If you know the answer, and you're trying to make, for example, some people are trying to make their parents proud, or some people are trying to make me proud. Making me proud is not a good reason to answer a question. It's not. And a lot of times in many countries, you know what people do? Get a good score on the test, or answer the question, or do the homework, because you're going to make your parents proud. You're going to make your teacher proud. Making your teacher proud is not a reason to learn. Growing yourself, learning something new, that's the reason. That's the ultimate reason, even if nobody's proud. And if you have that kind of thinking, even when you're not chosen and somebody else is chosen, you're still learning from their answer. You're always learning. You never missed out. You don't feel less special because you didn't get picked. You don't feel like you're less confident because you didn't raise your hand. None of that mattered. What mattered in the end is you were learning something. So I want you to change the way you think about how you feel in any class, not just my class, any class, right? You know, I teach adults all the time. And even adults, they are so scared to raise their hand or ask a question because they're like, other people are going to judge me. If you're worried about judgment, then you're no longer worried about learning. You have to be willing to just ask whatever questions on your mind and be embarrassed, no problem. And you should be not afraid of getting the wrong answer. You shouldn't be afraid of failing a test or disappointing score. And people come to me and say, Ustadh, I know I failed the test. You must be so disappointed in me. And I say, I don't have that kind of emotional attachment to your score. And I'm not really emotionally invested in your score. In fact, if you got a 40 on a test, that means the questions you got wrong are the questions you need to be focused on, because the test showed you where you need to learn better. So a bad test was a good education. A bad test is always a good education. But if you think a bad test is a humiliation, or a bad test is a disappointment, or a bad test is a failure, then you don't know what education is. You missed the whole point. So you're not here to prove yourself. You're not here to feel special. You're here to learn. It's a different mindset altogether. Pride is out the window, embarrassment is out the window. And that goes for adults and children alike. Okay, anyway. So that was pretty good on the homework assignment, alhamdulillah. Let's answer this question about Ibrahim alayhi salam. What I would like to argue, I would like to answer it now. Can I? Okay. I think what's happening with Ibrahim alayhi salam, Allah knows best, is that Allah gave him a way of presenting Islam that was different from every other prophet. Nuh alayhi salam preached for centuries. Ibrahim alayhi salam was done with his people within his youth. Like he was just a young man and he already broke all the idols. This is very different than Nuh alayhi salam, isn't it? It's a completely different kind of approach. No other prophet, to make a point, is breaking their statues or their idols. Except for who? Ibrahim alayhi salam. No other prophet is pointing at anything else and saying, this must be God, this must be God. Oh, I guess they can't be God. No other prophet is doing that except who? Ibrahim alayhi salam. Ibrahim, and then when he's questioned, he says, ask the big one. No other prophet is talking like this. Nobody's talking like this. He was presenting the case for Islam in a way that nobody else ever presented. And he was given a special, I would argue, he was given a special license, a special permission from Allah to present Islam in this way like no other nation, no other prophet would be given. There's other things that are unique about him. No other prophet is called a nation by himself. He's called a nation by himself. No other prophet of Allah was told to do the kinds of sacrifices, burn and jump into a fire, or slaughter your own child, etc. No other prophet was put in that position the way Ibrahim alayhi salam was, right? So there are things that are part of the life of Ibrahim alayhi salam that even our messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam, when he was in Makkah, he understood, even though Ibrahim alayhi salam broke the idols, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam clearly understood that is not something that he did it, therefore I'm going to do it. Even though Allah told him, follow the way, the religion of Ibrahim alayhi salam. He didn't do it, and this was the time to do it, da'wah, right? Ibrahim alayhi salam was doing da'wah, Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam was doing da'wah, right? And then when they weren't paying attention, he destroyed the idols. He could have done that too, but he didn't. But did Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, like you correctly pointed out, did Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the end destroy the idols also? Yes, but there's a big difference. There's a huge difference. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam destroyed the idols after Makkah was conquered. Where were those idols? They were around the Kaaba. The Kaaba was originally a temple, or was the Kaaba originally a masjid? Originally, its first purpose was a temple or a masjid? Built by who? So he was basically cleaning a masjid. Destroying the idols was basically cleaning the masjid. Didn't Allah tell Ibrahim alayhi salam and his son, you should both make my house pure for those who come and do tawaf and ruku, and tahhira baytiya lit-ta'ifina wal-'akifina wal-ruk'i as-sujud. Make my house pure. What's Rasulullah doing? He's not going to any other temple and destroying a temple. He is cleaning the masjid, cleaning the house of Allah from shirk. Isn't that what he's doing? Now Muslims eventually spread. Muslims spread to Persia. Muslims spread to India. Muslims spread to other, Southeast Asia, Malaysia, Indonesia. Today's Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore. And many of those places still have temples. They have Hindu temples, they have Buddhist temples, they have statues. And Muslims went there. Did we go there and destroy temples? No, we didn't. Because this way of making his argument, making his case, was given especially to who? Ibrahim alayhi salam. This was special for Ibrahim alayhi salam. Okay? So that's an important thing to understand too, that there are many parts of the life of Ibrahim alayhi salam that are special to him. One more side thing before we get to our next work, because we're almost done with young Ibrahim. Now we need to move from young Ibrahim to who? Old Ibrahim. Because we have almost nothing in the middle, right? We have young Ibrahim, and then we have old Ibrahim lessons. Alayhi salam. Okay. Do you remember what Ibrahim alayhi salam told his dad when he talked to him? You remember anything from that? Zainer, do you remember anything from that when he talked to his dad? He wasn't here? Oh, it's okay, I forgive you. Anybody remember? What did he tell his dad? Are you raising your hand because your brother forced you to, or yourself? Both? Yeah, you. Here.
Ya abati.
Sweet. That was even dropping that Arabic. Okay. Ya abati. Ya abati means dad, I love you, my beloved father. He corrected his dad, right? He asked his dad a tough question. He told him, I think that you're lost. He told him, don't follow shaitan. Let me guide you to the right way. I don't want you to end up in hell. You'll end up right next to the devil. So he said some pretty harsh things even to his dad. But he started all of that with what words? Ya abati, and you said it correctly, young man. Dad, I love you. What does that tell you about the way Ibrahim alayhi salam expresses his reasons when he talks to people that he loves, even when the people that he loves are doing the wrong thing? Yes?
He wants his loved people to do the right thing.
Good. Something more. He wants his loved people to do the right thing. Something more. Yes? Yeah? If he's patient and loving and respectful with his loved ones, they might end up listening to him. We are allowed to disagree, but we're not allowed to disagree without respect. Even when Ibrahim alayhi salam's father is someone who's building idols, he doesn't forget respect. He still talks to him with respect. Right? You guys, as you're growing older, you're going to go through some psychological, hormonal changes, boys and girls. And there will be a time where you will become, astaghfirullah, teenagers. And you'll know when you get there. He said, why do you say astaghfirullah? I'll tell you, the parents here that have teenagers are already saying astaghfirullah all the time. But when you become teenagers and your parents tell you to do something, when you become a teenager, your first response is, you can't tell me what to do, I'm 16 now. I'm my own person. Have you ever heard of personal space? God, mother. Etc., etc. You might be able to express some disagreement with your mom or your dad, but what can you never let go of? Respect. Respect. The problem, guys, especially with the kids here, you're living in America. If I was having this conversation in Pakistan or in Uzbekistan or in Turkey or somewhere else, it would be a different conversation. But I'm talking to kids being raised in America. In America, we don't learn respect. We don't learn respect. You don't learn respect for your teachers. You don't learn respect for the person at the grocery store. You don't learn respect for the guy working at the gas station. You don't learn respect for anybody. Nobody has respect for anybody. You just do transactions. And you, Muslims, need to be people that restore respect for themselves, respect for others, respect for elders, respectful communication. And the only time we in America, the only time we talk about respect is self-respect. You can't disrespect me like that. That's the only respect we know. You have to learn, even when you're feeling angry, frustrated, you disagree, you have to be able to disagree with respect. You have to be able to complain with respect. You have to be able to correct with respect. You have to be able to be corrected with respect. You need this. This is something Allah did not put in by accident in the Qur'an. He put it there because every choice He makes, I told you, every choice Ibrahim alayhi salam makes is part of us. Becomes part of our identity. Of all the 150 plus years he lived, if Allah chose to say this, quote him this one sentence, He didn't miss out, Dad, I love you, from the sentence. He put it there. It's there for a reason. So we're going to learn something from it. And by the way, Yusuf alayhi salam used the same words for his dad. But Yusuf's dad was a prophet. And Ibrahim alayhi salam used those same words for his dad. And his dad was someone who made idols. So it doesn't matter if you have the best dad or you have the worst dad, you still have to show respect. Isn't that amazing? Same words, Ya abati, same words. Two prophets, but two very different dads. And they're still using the same words of respect. So you don't say, I'll give respect when they earn it. They don't deserve my respect. No, some things you don't have to wait until it's earned. You have to speak respectfully even when you don't think what they're doing is respectful. Is what Ibrahim alayhi salam's father doing? Building idols, selling idols. Is he doing something respectful? No, not in the sight of Allah. It's not. Is he still showing him respect? Yes. Pretty heavy lesson. It's a pretty heavy lesson. Because we're in America, everything is a transaction. I'll give respect when I get respect. Give me something, then I'll give it to you. Right? That's not how it is in this religion. Some things you do because Allah just wants you to do it. Yes, young man? Where in the Qur'an does Allah mention that Ibrahim has to worship one Allah? He came to that conclusion himself. And this was in Surah Al-An'am, when he looked at the star and he showed the stars and sun and the moon, then he declared himself, I'm turning my face to the one who created all of them. And I'm never going to put anyone next to him. No partners, no other people, no other gods next to him. I'll worship Allah alone. Right? So that's Surah Al-An'am. Are we ready to move on to old Ibrahim? Yeah? Yes? Yes, my dear? Tell me. Both of you.
My opinion of why Ibrahim didn't break the idol, and why Muhammad didn't break the idols, is because Allah didn't command him to.
Ooh, good. Yeah. Very good.
What's the difference between a teenager and a child?
I can't tell sometimes. But in seriousness, a teenager is an adult. So we should talk to them like it. We should respect them like it, and we should put responsibilities on them like it. They need to carry themselves like adults. And they're not going to do them if you don't treat them like that. And that's not just about respecting them like an adult. No, you have to put burdens on them like you put burdens on an adult. You have to put responsibilities on them, expectations on them, like you put on an adult. Treat them like an adult, include them in adult conversations. Like, at a gathering yesterday, I was sitting with a bunch of 20-something-year-olds, and some of the folks that are a little bit older kept calling them these kids. And I'm like, well, first of all, they're not kids. They're adults. They're adults. They're not some special category. Because if any of those kids get into a car accident, God forbid, or commit a crime, is the judge going to say, oh, they're just kids? They'll be tried as a what? As an adult. If they do something wrong in this religion, and Allah questions them, will He question them as a kid or as an adult? So they're an adult in the sight of Allah, and they're an adult in the sight of the court. Why are they a child in the sight of the Muslim community? Where did we come up with this silliness? And that's why when they act immaturely, it's partly their fault, and it's partly our fault by convincing them they're just kids. We convinced them of the wrong thing. Anyway, we're going to move on to old Ibrahim alayhi salam. I don't want to wait. I want to go on. No, please let me. Please. Say okay. Say okay. This is a battle of the wills. I can go on. Thank you. I have your license. Okay. Ibrahim alayhi salam was... I have to share this part with you. You guys need to know this.